Coming up on UCF Nightly News, we're bringing you special team coverage of some of the important themes that take place in the month of April.
Plus, a team at UCF is working with the Department of Defense on smart clothing research. Find out how this new technology is beneficial in more ways than one.
Also, a local rodeo wants you to come out this weekend and have some fun. Find out all the events they have to offer coming up.
UCF has plans in the works for an on-campus hotel. We'll tell you how parents of future students feel about this and what it means for campus growth.
In sports, the UCF softball team welcomed defending champion Florida to the UCF softball complex. We'll tell you how the Knights did.
Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Rachel White.
And I'm Troy Kless. Today is Friday, April 8th, 2016. And the month of April stands for some very important issues. We decided to take a closer look at a few of them that hit home to the UCF campus.
That's right, Troy. Reporters Joshua Thicklin, Victoria Pasillo, and Daniela Polinar join us for our special team coverage. Joshua Thicklin is outside the Nicholson School of Communication talking about Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Josh, I know there's some pretty serious statistics about this. What can you tell us?
Hey Rachel, I'm here outside the Nicholson School of Communication. Now, Distracted Driving Awareness Month is dedicated to encourage students to not text or use their phone while behind the wheel. Now, Nightly News, we looked into all the many dangers that could lie if you are distracted while you're on the road.
College students are no strangers to texting, whether it be on campus or on the road. But this killer habit can have tragic results. Some Knights feel that texting behind the wheel has become a part of the culture.
I think you can look down at your phone and eat or do whatever you're being distracted by, but you forget that you're still driving a car.
You know, we're in kind of a fast-paced society when you have to really get back to people really quickly.
People seem really addicted to their phones nowadays, like they just can't keep away from them, and they don't realize how dangerous driving can be and how easily accidents can happen.
According to the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, there were over 45,000 distracting driving crashes in Florida last year. Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Stephen Montiero says that many people don't realize how serious these situations can be.
A simple distracted looking at your phone, taking your eyes off the road, it's not just going to be a fender bender. We're looking at trauma. We're looking at traumatic injuries, changing someone or even your life at that point.
Drivers could face fines up to $116 for texting behind the wheel, and a second offense could result in a moving violation. Montiero says that distracted driving is 100% preventable.
We're asking drivers to make the choice not to be distracted, to wait, and to make driving their primary focus.
A choice he hopes will lead to a safer road.
Now, Trooper Montiero also said that distracted drivers show similar patterns to drunk drivers. So, with more information on that, we're going to turn to reporter Victoria Pasillo, and I'm Joshua Thicklin. Back to you guys.
Victoria, you were actually able to speak with families of victims who were directly impacted by this issue. Can you tell us a little bit more about why this specific awareness is more important than ever for college students?
Yes, guys, I visited the UCF Police Department where police were undergoing DUI training. For this training, the officers teamed up with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and this partnership allowed one family to tell the story of their daughter and UCF student who was killed by a drunk driver. Let's take a look.
This is my daughter, Carrie Ann.
This is Carrie Ann DeMott. She was a UCF student studying sociology. Carrie Ann was killed by a drunk driver.
On October 10th, Carrie was coming home from her boyfriend's house. Rules are rules in our house. 1 a.m. curfew means you leave by a certain time and you're in the door, and Carrie Ann never made it home.
According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, 4 out of 5 college students drink alcohol. Yolanda Larson from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MAD, says raising alcohol awareness to students is important, especially about DUIs.
DUI is a serious problem, and having a DUI can stay with your record your entire life.
Bill DeMott says awareness is as simple as being aware of not only yourself, but the people around you.
If you're legal age to drink, no one's telling you not to enjoy yourself, or you just have to be responsible. You just have to know that just because you're responsible, there's someone out there who's not.
A piece of advice that could save a life. MAD is having its annual Walk Like MAD event on April 21st. The organization will be on campus April 12th if students want to get involved. I'm Victoria Pasillo. Back to you.
Now, Danielle, you're joining us from outside Victim Services, where they are currently advocating for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, another very important issue.
That's right. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and UCF Victim Services is working hard and around the clock this month to help those who need it. We spoke to one victim of sexual violence, and she hopes her story will encourage others to do the same.
I can't even begin to tell you just how horrible it was.
The bruises on 22-year-old Brandy's neck are still present, and so is the memory of when she was raped.
He just ripped off my pants and threw me on the bed, and then he started hitting me. And it was hitting so hard that my ears started ringing. It wasn't very pretty, I'll say that.
Just 3 months ago, her neck, throat, jaw, and lips beaten and swollen to a point where she couldn't even eat.
My jaw was so swollen, I couldn't move my head back and forth.
Brandy never imagined the man she thought she knew could do such a thing.
You expect them to care about you, and so then you question, like, did they really mean to do that, or just different thoughts go through your head.
According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, 293,066 people are victims of sexual assault each year. Brandy says speaking out is tough, so numbers may not always match reality. UCF Victim Services Coretta Cotton agrees.
So traumatic is very hard to continue to talk about and go through.
And while the memory is still fresh, Brandy won't let this moment define her and leaves others with this.
Get support, get help. Don't go through it alone. It doesn't define who you are. You're not dirty. You're not dirty. You're not broken. You're not incomplete. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It'll be all right.
Victim Services does offer a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week hotline for anyone who wants to talk about sexual violence. Throughout the month of April, they are offering multiple events to help educate people on the issue. If you want a full list of events, you can visit Victim Services website. Reporting from Victim Services, Danielle Fullner, back to you guys.
Thanks, Danielle, Victoria, and Josh for joining us. For more information on each of these stories, visit our website, nsm.today.
The U.S. Department of Defense is leading a new project, and a UCF scientist will be involved. We talked to the professor and one of his students to see what this could mean for the future of textiles. Machines are humming here in a lab at the College of Optics and Photonics. Felix Tan, an optics PhD student, is part of a team looking to weave their way into a clothing revolution.
Your shoes, your pants can start giving you information about your health, your environment.
Last Friday, the U.S. Department of Defense announced the start of a $317 million project led by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Industry partners including UCF will work together, and the goal is to make materials for what you could call smart clothing. Professor Ayman Aburati, the leader of the team, says multiple fibers transmitting data ingrained into clothing can serve many purposes.
All of these interactive functionalities are made possible by the fact that the fibers themselves become sophisticated electronic devices.
Tan says that he's excited to work with materials like this on the project, and these new threads could determine where the future of textiles will turn. UCF is committing $29 million to the project over 5 years. Dr. Aburati says this new technology will serve military and commercial purposes.
The Dr. Phillips Center will have some new performers starting today. Today begins the annual UCF Celebrates the Arts Showcase. Knights from the visual and performing arts will showcase their work until next Friday. You can still catch some of tonight's events, including Building Bridges, Dance 10, and a design animation showcase. The event is free. If you want a full list of the schedule, you can visit the website arts.cah.edu.
Well, Rachel, it's been a gorgeous week for weather here in Central Florida.
It really has, Troy, and we have Justin Garfield outside the Nicholson School of Communication. Justin, how's it looking out there right now?
That's right, guys. I'm out here and there's nothing but sunny weather, so let's get right to your current conditions. Right now it's 70 degrees out with a 73% humidity. There's a wind chill of about 7 miles per hour, west-southwest direction, and no rain in sight, so it's a perfect day for you to hit the beach. We'll be back a little bit later with our full forecast. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Justin. Well, it's been about 4 days since the top-secret Panama Papers were released to the public.
That's right. We'll tell you more about the legalities of what some world leaders were caught doing coming up.
Plus, the White House just recognized UCF's College of Medicine for their advanced drug warning to students. We'll tell you what's important in this new curriculum.
The International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, or ICIJ, has revealed what could be the biggest data leak in history. On Monday, it released over 11 million documents dubbed the Panama Papers. These papers connect many current and former world leaders to a complex network of tax havens. Troy, what does this mean for the international community?
Well, Rachel, what these 2.5 terabytes of data reveal is corruption on a huge scale. A network involving 12 current, former, and world officials and other 128 politicians and public officials who used a Panamanian law firm to hide their money. CIJ German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung received documents dating back 40 years dubbed the Panama Papers from an anonymous source. The newspaper, along with over 100 news outlets, uncovered that over 12,000 officials went through the Mossack Fonseca law firm based in Panama to set up offshore shell companies. Assistant Chair and Executive in Residence with the Finance Department, Paul Gregg, says these companies can be used legally, but the papers show that what world officials were doing was not within the law.
There's nothing illegal about having money in a shell company. What's illegal is not reporting the income on your tax return, which no doubt is likely to have occurred.
Among these world officials involved, Iceland's Prime Minister Sigmundur David Gunnlaugsson stepped down amid the allegations. The law firm says they have never been accused of criminal wrongdoing and they are not involved with managing their clients' companies. The ICIJ says they plan to release the documents to the public in May. Back to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Troy. Right now we have reporter Connor Engelhart live from the corner of Alafaya and University, where an on-campus hotel will be built. Connor, when can we expect to see construction?
Thanks, Rachel. Students will soon see more construction as they enter campus. University officials tell us that the construction of the hotel will begin sometime this spring and wrap up in the fall of 2017. We found out how this 19 acres of land right at the beginning of campus will soon become a boutique hotel.
Build this hotel.
UCF Senior Communications Coordinator Mark Schlube wants parents and students to know that KUD International will pay all of the costs to this 135-room boutique hotel. Over the length of the 52-year lease, KUD will pay UCF $24 million, which the university plans to put to good use.
And that's money that's going to go to scholarships for students.
Sydney Jordan hopes her daughter Caitlin is one of those students. They toured UCF this week to help Caitlin make her college choice. Sydney says having a hotel on campus would be great for family visits, but she thinks there are better uses for the land.
I can see from a student perspective that parking is really a need.
Schlube says the university looked at the options of parking or dorms, but the location just wasn't right.
We have other room on campus for student housing, and we keep very close track of student housing.
Schlube did say a good portion of these trees will need to be removed once KUD begins construction.
KUD may not be your household name, but they have developed the CFE Arena, Knights Plaza, and other academic buildings on campus. But since KUD International is a developing company, they have to hire Charlestown Hotels to run the day-to-day operation of the new boutique hotel on campus. Reporting live from the corner of University and Alafaya, I'm Connor Engelhart. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Connor. The CDC recently announced new guidelines saying that prescription drugs are not the preferred treatment from people suffering from chronic pain. The UCF College of Medicine is now one of 60 medical schools recognized by the White House for their commitment to teach students the dangers of prescribing painkillers. Dr. Richard Pepler, Associate Dean at the UCF College of Medicine, knows the importance of teaching the new content.
People can get addicted to these powerful drugs, and that's not what we want. We don't want people to be suffering. We want their pain to be alleviated.
Pepler says the school will expand the curriculum by the fall.
Just ahead, Justin Garfield will be back to tell you what your weekend weather looks like.
Plus, we have reporter Karan Case live in Kissimmee.
We'll have her there after the break.
The Ram National Circuit Rodeo Show is back in Kissimmee for the second year in a row.
That's right, Troy, and we have reporter Karan Case there live to tell you how one cowboy is preparing for the show.
Hey guys, I'm right outside the Ram Rodeo Show, and the fact that it's right here in Central Florida is huge. I spoke to one cowboy that traveled 3,000 miles just to compete. Let's take a look.
A Friday usually spent with family and friends. For one cowboy, that's not the case. Clayton Bigelow is preparing for a date with a wild horse named
Flirtatious. Yeah, a lot of guys like her.
But it's more like a blind date.
I've never seen her before.
Bigelow is one out of many who are competing in the Ram National Circuit Finals this weekend, and he's all geared up. Outside in a stable, Little John is also getting ready for showtime.
So right now I'm working on his shoulders and down through his pectoral muscles.
To get him in tip-top shape, he needs to be stretched and rubbed from top to bottom. The result, a happy horse.
That's what we're really looking for. That's a big impact right there.
And over at the South Lobby, Marketing Director Lydia Bell has one goal for the rodeo in mind.
We definitely would love to see college kids get into the sport of rodeo and get a little bit more acclimated with Kissimmee.
Only the best of the best make it to this point. And for Bigelow, it's kind of like an honor.
Every circuit has their own, their best cowboys, and the best ones come here, and it's gonna be fun, that's for sure.
Yeah. A fun time saddling up for his big blind date.
And the good news is all you need is a student ID. You can get it at any location here. Reporting in Kissimmee, I'm Karan Case, sending it back to y'all. Yeehaw!
Speaking of being outside, I'd love to get the chance to go to that rodeo that Karan was talking about.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Justin Garfield is back outside. Justin, does the weather look like it's going to be nice this weekend?
Hey guys, I'm outside the Nicholson School of Communication, and here's a look at your forecast for this week. Right now it's 70 degrees with a 73% humidity. We have a nice wind chill coming in from the west-southwest region with about 7 miles per hour. No rain in sight, so like I said, perfect day for you to hit the beach. Now taking a look at the national weather map, we have quite a few rain and snow showers scattered around the country, especially on the west coast and in the Midwest region too. But we have a cool front sweeping through the south, which is going to bring us some nice weather this weekend. Let's take a look at your 5-day forecast. Right now, on Saturday, it's 79 degrees with a low of 53, no % chance of rain. Sunday, we have a high of 80, low of 60, 10% chance of rain. Monday, we have 83 as a high, 60 as a low, no % chance of rain as well. Tuesday, no % chance of rain, 90 as a high, 64 as a low. Wednesday, high of 89 and low of 67 with a 40% chance of rain. So be aware, get your umbrellas ready. That's all the time we have for weather. Back to you guys in the studio.
Coming up, 9 innings weren't enough for UCF baseball Tuesday night. We'll tell you how the Knights fared against the FAU Owls.
Plus, the UCF softball team squared off against the nation's defending champs, in-state rival Florida.
Hey Knights, I'm Daniel Bird here with your Nightly News Sports Update. On Tuesday night, the UCF baseball team hosted the 12th ranked FAU Owls at J. Bergman Field. This was a classic pitcher's duel as both teams kept each other off the scoreboard through 10 innings. Harrison Hikari got the start for the Knights, and the pitching staff as a whole racked up 11 strikeouts. It wasn't until the 11th inning that the Owls got on the board, scoring 5 in the top half of the frame. The Knights couldn't equalize and dropped the contest 5-0. The team begins a 3-game series tonight on the road against Houston. The UCF softball team had their own in-state matchup as they took on the second-ranked Florida Gators Wednesday night. A sellout crowd piled in and around the UCF softball complex to watch the Knights face off with the defending NCAA champs. Down 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th, the Knights had the bases loaded with only 1 out, but seniors Samantha McCloskey and Kaylin Snall both struck out to end the threat. The Gators scored a 3rd run in the top of the 7th, and that was all they needed as they defeated the Knights 3-1. The UCF women's tennis team was back on its home court Wednesday afternoon for Senior Day. The Knights finished their home matches with a non-conference contest against the Stetson Hatters. The Knights swept the Hatters 4-0. UCF won all 3 doubles matches and the first 3 singles matches to end the match early. The Knights improved to 12-6 on the season. UCF will finish the regular season next Friday at North Florida. Staying on the court, the UCF men's tennis team took down Bethune-Cookman 6-1 on Thursday. On Senior Day, the Knights built up their lead in singles play before sweeping the doubles matches. The Knights have 1 regular season match remaining before they go to Memphis for the AAC Championships. The team hits the road and will travel to Tulsa to take on the Golden Hurricane on April 17th. Well, that's all the time we have for sports. Back to you guys.
Well, it looks like we're going to have some sports. We're going to have some nice weather this weekend, so maybe you guys get to play some soccer, Troy. What do you think?
Also, speaking of soccer, we're going to have to check out the Orlando City game tonight as they take on the Philadelphia Union. Kaka's going to be back in the lineup for the Lions, so we think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, well, that's all the time we have for now. Thank you for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our website, nsm.today.
And if you've got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynewsucf@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and have a good day.